I decided that university was best for me, having tried an apprenticeship. I'd also been to college on 2 occasions and worked full-time jobs in between those. My latest one was a full-time job, and then I realised I was still quite young, wasn't particularly in the right job for me, and wanted to start studying again but didn't want to go back to college, so I was advised to have a look at some university courses. I didn't want to travel far, but luckily for me there's a university not far, so then I just decided to do a course there that I found was most suitable for me and what I wanted to study. I wouldn't say that I faced any particular challenges before starting, but I am actually dyslexic, so it can be a challenge for some people, I know. But for me it was more about just finding the support that I was able to get throughout the whole 3 years of university, when I could receive it, who I'd receive it from, and what sort of the support was. So not so much challenges, but obviously that was something I had to look into before actually signing up to a course to ensure that I'd be able to study and get the best grades possible for me. Before I started university, it's not so much that I wish I'd have known much more about it, but I wish I would I was able to be more prepared for it. I'd emailed quite a lot before starting to see if there was any books I could look at, if I was able to get any information, like more information about the subjects that I'd study on my course, but I think being first year they don't like to give you too much and then you sort of rush ahead. But for me it would have just been a bit more reassuring to know sort of a more in-depth bit of detail about the subjects in the course that I would have been studying. I've definitely improved on my team working skills. At university a lot of our modules involve teamwork and group work for the assignments, so you're sort of put into groups. You don't get to pick the people you're working with a lot of the time, which means you're working with all sorts of different people, different size groups as well, so you sort of have to adapt to make sure you fit in but make sure everyone fits in, and everyone can do their part and make sure everyone's doing work as well and no one's taking over or no one's sort of dropping out, so definitely improved on those. Also time management, I'd like to think I was quite organised anyway, but then having to manage also a part-time job with your lectures and then your personal life as well. Time management's definitely something I've improved on with university as well. A lot of your assignment work you have to do in your own time, and being at uni is more about your lectures and studying rather than actually getting on with assignment work. The advice I'd give someone who's considering is definitely do your research, make sure the course you're studying is right for you, because obviously you're studying one thing. I know there's often like little subjects inside of your course you're taking, but it's not like college where you can take 2 or 3 subjects and sort of use what you'd like. It's just one course, so make sure what you're doing is right for you, and also be prepared. And it might sound silly, but buy your stationery, make sure you've got everything you need before you start. I know some people on my course weren't so prepared and they wish they'd just bought the little things like stationery. They'd looked up their course in as much detail as possible. So yeah, just be as prepared as you can. For first year it's a little bit more laid back. They aren't so strict on stuff like that, and your first week's usually just an induction, so they often let you know what you need then.